What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today we are VOD reviewing Dish Soap because he is rank 1 North America right now. He's 1700 LP. There's only a few other people. It's basically Dish Soap, Prestivant, and Spencer TFT who are like neck in the race for rank 1. It's actually really close there. So very exciting race for rank 1, but also Dish Soap did a long stream today. He's been playing a lot on the new patch and showing off some of the secrets of patch 14.1, because we're going to be on this patch for KDA Cup, which is really important. We're going to be on this patch for, I believe, the Golden Spatula Cup, the European tourney, is like either like right now or tomorrow or something like that. Like it's starting up very soon. So all these big tournaments happening on this patch, and it's also just for us normies who don't happen to be in KDA Cup. It's also just, you know, a patch that we're going to be on for 2 weeks, and so get your climb on. First thing that is kind of crazy here is that Dish Soap is going to pick up this Vi headliner. I think Vi is a unit that she got buffed this patch pretty significantly. Augment-wise here, by the way, we have Clear Mind, Sleight of Hand, both really great options here. I like both of them a ton. I think the stats actually don't love Clear Mind too much. But yeah, this Punk Vi headliner is something that's come a lot higher in priority than it used to be. You know, you used to see this Vi headliner and say like, okay, like who asked? But now, look at this. We're gonna slam BT plus bow on her. She's an amazing item holder for some kind of AD option later, and she's also just a good unit early game. So yeah, I mean, just look at the Vi fire down on these units. We don't even have Masher in for her, and she's a really good item carry here. We're also gonna get true damage in for this Isuo, and then just slam the TG onto him, which works out really well actually. And now we have like Kennen pair. We got a lot of stuff that we can play this game. So I think in this spot, you've made a BT. You're basically locking yourself to one of two options. Either you're going to play a reroll comp from this spot, one of the AD reroll comps, which is either Yone or Riven. Though Yone doesn't do amazing with BT. I think most people have said that the new BIS on him is Hodge plus Titans plus Infinity Edge. So like the BT, you could replace it for the Hodge, but losing out on the crit feels kind of bad. And, you know, Riven is a solid option, right? You go something like BT, QSS, and then like a final item, she really needs that QSS, but BT is fine on her because you're usually not able to get to IE. Also notice we're going to get 4 Punk in here. Drop the, yeah, he actually decides to drop true damage here just for the increase in stats that is for Punk here. I mean, it's going to be Punk onto this Vi 2, onto this Twitch, onto this, this Jinx. Yeah, it's actually a pretty strong board, though we're going to end up fighting this Bard board, and my god, this Bard unit buffed this patch. I felt like he was already an excellent item holder last patch. We end up losing our, I mean, not even really streak there, but our streak would have finally started there. So unfortunate that we end up losing that fight. I wonder if, I mean, 4 Punk is a quite big spike, so I guess this board was stronger, but I wonder if you could ever make the argument that the previous board was stronger. We can pick up Chain Vest here, which could go towards like a Titan's Resolve if we want to, but that means we're really locking ourselves into like a Yone angle, I would think. But he's just, yeah, he's going to go for the Titan's Resolve, say this item's good enough in this spot. And something really interesting here is the Dish Soap says, like, okay, if I level here, I'm going to be insanely broke this game. I'm just going to make 20 gold. I'm going to stay level 4. Also notice this player that we're fighting as well, Casely, decided to stay level 4, though it makes a bit more sense in their spot. They're on a loss streak here. Dish Soap opts to not go 5 at 2-5 here and just stays 4, which is something that I think a lot of people, you know, are like, level 5 at 2-5, that's incredibly standard. But I think definitely on this patch where Econ is a lot more scarce, you might see a lot more people doing this, where they don't go 5 at that level just so that you can stay your previous level for an extra round and make that 20, because making 20 really important when your streak gold is just, we're never going to have a streak this stage, right? Because we won 2 and then lost 1. We're never going to get a single gold from streak gold with the changes to streak gold. But yeah, as I was talking about, the Titans I think makes me really want to play towards Yone. The other option with this BT and with this Titans, not as good but definitely still takeable, is to play for an Akali Karthus type comp and put these items onto Akali, put these items onto Viego, because those comps use, well, that comp uses AD items really well. They can go onto Karthus, they can go on, well, they can go onto Viego, they can go onto Akali. Don't put your Titans on Karthus, it's not very good. But yeah, Viego and Akali are both very solid AD item holders. So that's like kind of an AD comp with the sort of like backup plan of playing around like Karthus as a carry, right? Any AP items can go on Karthus. It's really nice actually, because you have an out for AD items and an out for AP items, which is something that I think is really important to have when you play a comp in TFT, it makes a comp a lot better if you can guaranteed have like, okay, if I hit AD items, I can play this. If I hit AP items, I can play this. And yeah, you see, we're gonna send the Edge of Night here. Means that I don't think, I mean, we could play Yone with these items for sure, but I don't think we're going to angle towards Yone this game. I think we're just going to angle towards Pentakill in this spot here and see what we can do. The only downside is that we are a little bit sad about our streak. We end up losing that fight there and losing our streak as well, which is kind of funny. Martyr is just always a good augment. He's going to go for the LDP. I think that makes sense, actually. This augment is very, very, I would imagine, very, very nice in this comp. I haven't checked the stats just yet, but I would imagine this augment does very well in this comp because you can LDP the Karthus and the Viego. You can LDP the Karthus, the Akali. You can LDP the Viego and the Akali. You can just, because you're like a triple threat, triple carry comp, you can LDP 2 of any 3 carries, which is really, really nice. So yeah, he's just going to snap up the LDP immediately. It doesn't have any synergy with the Thief's Gloves item, right? Or the Thief's Glove augment, because that just gives HP and attack speed, and LDP shares armor, MR, AD, and AP. So yeah, I don't think it has any synergy there, but you know, TG is going to give a solid item to this backliner unit. You know, we're LDPing 3 items from Vi and the items that we're getting onto Jinx. The other nice thing about the current board is that we're going to LDP the AD from Punk, but, you know, late game we're not going to be playing around Punk. But yeah, I mean, this is a solid early game. The only downside is, yeah, we're just completely missing on streak gold this entire stage, and looks like, okay, we are going to win this. Well, wait, are we going to win this fight? This buffed tail unit is now kind of a beast, so yeah, I was not 100% sure if we were going to win that one. But yeah, the Punk's gonna come out later. The only downside is that, yeah, we don't have any. We haven't had a streak yet this game. We might get our first streak gold next round. We have Belt open here. It'd be interesting to see what Disso picks up here. Like, Nashers is an option. I don't know if it's something that he wants to like slam. It's definitely a lot better if you're playing around something like a Twisted Fate, but we can't ever really play TF from this spot. The other thing to take note of is you see these units that he's holding onto his bench. He's holding on to the Kennons. He's holding on to the Lilias because he wants to play for a Super Friend frontline later, potentially, to sort of easily anchor his board into late game. And then, you know, if you end up hitting a lot of the Pentakill units, you can play around 7 Penta, you can play around Superfan. I've seen a lot of people play the Superfan version, and if people get like spats, they play around Vertical Pentakill, but we'll see what Dish ends up going for this game. Also, very unfortunate. When we were about to make our first streak gold of the game, we end up fighting this person. It's the same person that we lost our streak to stage 2, and we lose that fight and lose our streak gold. We have not gotten a single streak gold this entire game. The upside is that I'm sure a lot of other people in this lobby are in a similar predicament where they don't have any streak gold, so it's not the end of the world, but we're definitely be a lot poorer than, say, you know, we would have been like last patch, and so is everyone else. That's why these like economy augments that a lot of people picked up, there's someone with like patient study, are really, really nice. And we're gonna lose this fight as well, so no streak gold, and we are losing this fight. A little bit unfortunate. It'll be interesting to see when Dishop decides to send it, because he's not broke because he's been prioritizing making income. He has this pair of Mordekaisers now. He's just going to level to 7 here, get the early level on so that he gets a level 7 shop next round, and he might just make enough economy to the point where he doesn't need to worry about, you know, the fact that, yeah, so he picks up the set, but like he still isn't able to make 40 gold there. So we lose out on 1 gold, we get a level 7 shop is the upside. Red buff, a really, really nice slam in pretty much every comp, so we can make it here. I don't know, I guess you kind of have to 4-2 it in a spot like this because you need to get out of this Vi chosen. You can't really sit on Vi headliner for 3 rounds, so you're probably just going to go 8 next round and then roll a couple of times and just take the first thing that's acceptable. Zed would be great, Viego would be great, Karthus would be fine, Akali would be fine. Yeah, anything could really, a lot of stuff could work. Not anything could work. There are definitely some things that I don't think we can take like an Ari in this spot, but yeah. Let's check our augment here. He immediately rules everything, is just gonna rip this My Enemy. Remember, your roots can be really good, especially if we get like a Pentakill headliner. The problem is if you hit like an Akali or something, it's not really benefiting most. So I think he's just gonna take the general best augment here, which is the Know Your Enemy. And look, he's selling out of everything here. Yeah, there's the Ari, but I don't think that's something we can really pick up. Picks up Viego, picks up a York, which is really nice. The main thing that we're missing that we have not hit yet is a takeable headliner. We have hit a lot of the just sort of like units that you don't care too much about here. We could even yeah, we're gonna play 6 Pentakill for now, trying to pivot the board. Gonna send these items onto Viego because it's much more likely that we end up actually, yeah, and I really like the TG onto York. A slightly stronger unit than Viego here, a slightly stronger holder of this Titans. But the problem is the chance of us finding a Yorick 2 in a spot like this is near zero. So we're just going to play this board for now, pick up this upgraded Kale, though we do need to find, if we want to, yeah, like these units aren't doing a ton for our board. He's just going to fit Super Fan in here, which does not do anything immediately. Something really crucial here, actually, is that Disho is not going to roll in this spot, which is, it's almost crazy, but the idea is that, like, if you roll here, you're going to be so broke. He's 59 HP. He has an okay board, but no headliner definitely feels bad. But yeah, the idea, like, is if you roll here, you're going to be super, super broke. So you'll just sack this round, and then we can roll at 4-5. But if you roll to 0 here, you're going to be 0 gold for the entire game. You're never going to have enough gold to buy your headliner. So it's actually a really, really smart play to actually, like, save econ in a spot like that when, like, you could easily, you know, roll there and mess up your econ a ton. We have sword plus belt open here. I would think you would want something for Karthus, like a Shojin here, I guess. He's gonna go for the rod immediately. I'm not sure for what exactly. This wasn't on a unit that we really need, right? I don't think so. What's the rod for? Like a gun blade? But I don't know. Do I care that much about that? We're gonna keep rolling here. Edgelord Riven, you have to buy and sell. Okay, and he finds a Zed, which could item hold these Viego items. The problem is you're gonna end up losing out on the Viego, I think. Okay, he's just gonna play it on his board right now. He's just going to play the Zed with the BT on it, and then just makes a Stair Axe. Okay, he was looking, if he didn't hit Zed, I guess he was looking at potentially like a Kali with Stair Axe and stuff like that. This should at least stabilize our board a little bit, right? We're not going to have the greatest board of all time, but it's not terrible. And the other thing that I really want to highlight about this game, because we're playing this Pentakill comp, the thing that I really want to highlight is that this is not a very balanced comp. This comp is kind of broken, and so you'll see. Our entire board was 1-star there. We won that fight. I mean, our augments are fine, but, you know, they're definitely not insane by any means. He's going to, because we're EDMZ, he's going to opt to get Crowd Diver in here and move this red buff over to the Kale, just get out of the Karthus, just so that we can play a stronger board for now, because you got to play around what you hit, right? We hit this Zed. We could maybe get out of it later, but it's definitely a trap to say, oh, we'll just sell this Zed later and get back to our other stuff. You know, like we need to play around the Zed for now just to keep ourselves alive, right? 37 HP, this is definitely a scary spot to be in. The roll down did not go as we pleased. The early game did not go exactly as we pleased, but, you know, we're as we wanted to, but, you know, it's just whatever. We got to deal with it at the end of the day. Karthus 2 here is a nice pickup, and that's going to prompt him to sell out of the Zed here and look for something playable instead. Rolling down almost no 4 costs. Find Execution or Vex, but I can't imagine that's the pickup. This Alawi will help a little bit. Wait, how did we get that Shojin there? He reforged the Stair Axe here because he has no one to hold it anymore, and just reforges into a full Shojin and decides to make Shojin Death Cap here. I mean, that's kind of insane because that's probably one of the best items you could possibly get on Karthus in this spot. But his spot is still certainly scary. That Shojin is going to help a ton though. But yeah, like he has to reforge the Stair Axe. I was even interested, like kind of surprised that he made it on the Zed in the first place, but he needed to make something to make his board stronger. He's also still got this item tome open here. Continuing to roll down to look for something. Finds, oh my god, finds Yorick 2. So now we can sell out of the Viego, move items to Yorick, and we might actually be back still with no headliner on our board. He's going to put these items and okay, yeah, he's going to put everything on it. I thought that for a second I thought he might like pop something off. I don't know, like not put the last item, but that doesn't make any sense. But it almost looked like he was gonna. We are probably going to lose this. Oh, actually, is York just that much of a no? Not. It was a relatively close fight, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna lose this fight. Down to 15 HP. Really just need to find some kind of playable headliner. I mean, the nice thing is that our board is decent. Okay, and there's KDA Akali. That's definitely an option. Yeah, we're gonna get out of the Alawi, play the KDA Akali, and we might actually be back in this spot. I assume you red buff the Akali. And yeah, you're going to give these stats. No, it's just going to red buff the Karthus to finish the items off. Yeah, this is a trap that I think I fall into a lot, is I say, well, like, red buff's a better item on Akali than it is on Karthus, so I'll just put it on Akali. But, like, you don't really want to be 2-item Akali, 2-item Karthus. You just want to finish out your items on Karthus. So we'll just go the red buff there. It's a top 6 already, which feels really, really good. But now that we have the Akali, it's taken us a while. We got to a very low amount of HP. If we fight some really, really strong board, we might be in a bad spot, but we have the board. It definitely took a while, but we finally got to the board. We have Akali, we have Karthus. The Yorick 2 on the way on level 8 is certainly going to help a lot. So we'll see what this board can actually cap out at. And, you know, Like I was talking about, this board has multiple carries. Another carry that I didn't mention, but that is certainly there, is the Yorick. We ended up hitting Yorick 2 before we hit Viego 2, so yeah, might as well just take those items that were meant for Viego and put them on Yorick. The second Hodge for Akali is also just really, really nice. It's everything that she wants. It's crit, it's healing, it's AD, it's AP. It's just perfect on her. So one of the best items. I think if you look at the stats, a lot of the best Akali builds say double Hodge is very, very nice. And yeah, we're just playing these super fans because they fit so well, right? You get Kennen in, which is Guardian with the Yorick. You want to get 3 KDA in so that you can easily just play that with Lilia. You can play Nico on this board over, either one. Like, if we had not KDA Akali, you could, play Nico to get the 3 KDA in instead, which is usually what you go for. But because we have KDA Akali, we can't actually afford to play the Kennen, so that's nice. It'll be better to play Nico 2 later, but it's fine for now. And look at that! We actually top 4'd this game, which looked so doomed during our stage 4 roll down. I think this is something that good players do so well, is they just manage to save spots like this by picking up a good enough headliner. We found the Zed that was good enough. It stabilized us for a couple of rounds. We found that Karthus 2 that allowed us to sell the Zed and look for a different headliner. Then we found this Akali, we found the Yorick 2, and now we're back. We're like potentially thinking about going 9 here. Picks up the Nico here, which is probably not better right now, but will be better later. Akali item here. I like Renan's Akali, like, probably way more than I should, and Dishop apparently likes it at least better than BT triple healing here, so I'm actually down, because, like, the idea she, like, dashes to backline, and then she's autoing these units, and, like, she's gonna send the bolts and, like, hit Sona here, I think. I assume the bolts... I actually don't know how Renan's bolt targeting works, but I assume that it, like, hits the units that are closest to your target. I think that's how it works, which will be really nice. She'll, like, get the Sona down a little bit, and then cast, and then, like, slash through the Sona, and it's, like... It's kind of cool, but, it's not insane. We could also even just level for this Nico as our level 9, just to be 4 Superfan here. It doesn't really add anything else besides that. You definitely prefer to play something a bit better than that, but not the end of the world. Echo fills out the synergies okay. I mean, it's really just true damage, and then he's another Sentinel, because we already have Sentinel in the Blitzcrank, so probably not that. Something like a Kiana could actually work on this board. Just play Kiana for Kiana and, like, as a true damage unit. Also, we had the random Alawi in earlier. Definitely a random Alawi wouldn't be bad. I have to assume that Yorick wins this fight. That was really weird. Did we won that fight, right? But oh, no, they didn't FF. That was so weird how that fight just ended immediately. Yeah, we are going to get the Nico in just for a moment here. But, it'll be interesting to see if this board ends up evolving. The Omnivamp and the HP onto Akali is not insignificant whatsoever, though. So I definitely think it makes sense to go for this addition here, especially when you're 15 HP. Like, we could be dead this round if we're a little bit too weak, and we're fighting a pretty strong TF board. This is kind of the clash of the two really meta boards right now, this Karthus Akali board and this TF board. Nice thing is that our Akali's eventually able to get onto the TF, and we end up picking up this fight win, so it's a top 2 now, and all we got left to get through is Shikame Madoka. Let's see what their board is, because I have no clue. This is a Viego 2, right? Because we didn't have Viego yet? Yeah, it's Viego 2, and I guess it's just going to be a random redemption onto him. There's the Kiana like I'm talking about. I wonder if he pryos it higher than this Nico here. Shikame Madoka is a capped, very capped TF board. So top 3, TF, Pentakill, and then another TF board. You can see definitely where the meta is heading right now. The scary thing is he has the Alawi 2, he has the Ziggs 2 with 3 items. I wonder if we have enough damage and enough frontline to just buy enough time for us to win this fight. Looks like no, and it is going to be a loss for Dish Soap, but a second place from this spot. Very crazy. We can take a second just to look at the final summary. Like I was saying, first place TF, third place TF, Arthas, Pentakill in second place. Interesting that this Big Shot comp actually made it to 4th, which is pretty impressive because I think a lot of people are very down on this comp. We have another Karthus player ended up going 5th. This Yone player, T-Lides, ended up going 6th with this board. I think Dishop was really surprised about this. I don't know how that happened. Another, and then 2 more people kind of angling, like this player angled Karthus spot forward, this person angled Karthus spot forward. You can see why it took us so long to hit some of these units because they were so contested. So yeah, actually 3 out of 4 of the bot were other people who were trying to angle Pentakill, but Dish Soap, with his ability to play for HP and play for early game, managed to come out on top. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, and all my other links down below. Thanks for watching.